What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It's your...
Stuff, you know, with like tools and whatnot. Twenty eggs left. Hi, little dude. Hello, everybody. It's Brittany, and welcome to the ChamGirl podcast. Tonight, I'm going to have one of my friends as a guest. His name is James Cross. He's also called the Fog Father. So we'll be having him join us in just a little bit. So why don't we give him a little bit of a welcome, and we'll just get to see him join us tonight. We got Mr. Mondays right up over here. That was an awesome intro. That was so cool. There we are. Hi there.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Pretty darn good.
Oh my gosh. I love to see, I don't think I've actually seen your setups and this type of a view where I'm seeing like how it would be presented in your house. And that looks really awesome behind you.
Yeah.
That's very pretty.
It's the man cave.
This is the man cave.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. That looks so pretty. Oh my goodness. I guess that would be your left, but like what looks like to our right. I thought that was a window. That's not a window. That's not a window. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Wow. Is this the basement?
No,
Or,
it was a garage and I converted it into a man cave.
Oh my goodness. That's so dope. That's so cool. I love that. Now, you made all those, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, they are life goals. Look at that. I for real thought those were windows and like that you just had the black ones behind you. And I'm like, wait, no, that's not window.
Yeah, I kind of surrounded myself in my own little private jungle.
That's like everyone's dream right there. That looks so nice. That's beautiful. So who all's down here with you?
Say that again?
Who all's down here with you? Like which chameleons?
In here, all the chameleons are in here. So yeah, I've limited myself. I used to be a pretty big collector. And now I just I put myself in a situation where I have a certain amount of chameleons I'm going to keep, and that's it.
Just what do you have a limit? Like, do you have an actual number?
Yeah,
limit?
10.
10.
Yeah.
That's a doable amount. Oh, right. It's rainforest is here. I know there's an awesome setups. Look at that. So what was the first cage like the first enclosure? What did that look like?
The first one I did was out of my great-grandmother's curio. I had been looking at it for years, and I decided I'm going to convert it. You know, I'm in construction, so I've done 40 years of contracting. And my kids kind of grew up, and so I decided one day, hey, you know what? Actually, my wife did. My wife said, you need a hobby. And so from working all the time. So I decided, you know, what the heck? I'm going to turn this curio into a chameleon cage. And that's kind of what started my path.
Did you
back into it full time?
Got back into now it's full time. So were you into reptiles before you started carpentry?
So I started out in monitors, iguanas.
Oh, wow.
I had a couple snakes back in the late 80s. And then what we would do is in Los Angeles, we would get up on Saturday morning, my wife and I, when I was still dating her, and we'd drive around LA County and go to all the pet stores. And so what happened was she hated the monitors, she hated the lizards, but she liked going to the stores. And one day we walked into a pet store, and sitting on the counter was a pair of Jacksons. And that changed everything. I got rid of all the monitors, and we switched full-time to chameleons.
Was one of the Jacksons pregnant?
Say that one more time.
Was one of them pregnant?
Actually, no, but they did mate. They did mate after I brought them home.
Is that her behind you? She's like, oh no.
Just got home from work.
She's like, oh no, I want to be in this.
Yeah.
That's so sweet though. But like, so she didn't really care for the reptiles, so she fell in love with chameleons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, it is so fun. I know when I used to be into cichlids, it was really fun to go and see them in the stores. And I never actually saw, outside of just like random veils, I never saw chameleons kept at the store. So I never seen a panther before I got into them.
Yeah. Yeah, we found, I've had pretty much every species. Back in the 80s, you could get pretty much anything. Everything was wild.
Really?
But you had no information. We had no way. There was no internet. There was no way of communicating with people about it, unlike it is today. So you had to figure things out on your own.
Which definitely with chameleons, that's kind of rough because they're so
very rough. I lost a lot of animals. But, we didn't know any better, I guess. I was still a kid. So I didn't think of it in the terms of ethics like I do now. So, it was a trial and error. You could keep them for 6 months to a year at max, and they would perish, and you would just go get another one.
Yeah. So what was your first reptile? Did you have any as a kid?
As a kid, I tried to get reptiles. My grandfather was a rock hound. So we used to go out to the desert all the time. And yes, we got a couple of snakes and a couple tortoises. And then we brought home a rattlesnake and kept it in Grandpa's garage and didn't tell Grandma. That kind of stuff. So I've always been fascinated with reptiles. And even younger, as a kid, I was into dinosaurs. So
of course,
I think it's all relative.
It is. I love dinosaurs as a little kid. I still do. But, we were all fascinated because, when I was born, I was in Jurassic Park. When that came out. So that was I think it started a huge wave of people really into dinosaurs. Again, it did. And that's why we keep reptiles, because they are extinct.
Yeah. Yep.
So you had the Jacksons, and then how long was it after keeping chameleons that you got into Parsons?
I didn't get Parsons till way later in life. Back then, Parsons were a legendary creature like a unicorn.
Really?
You barely heard anybody talking about them. You would see them in a few TV shows, but they were really kind of a myth. I didn't even really know that if they really existed. You couldn't find them. You couldn't buy them in the store. So that came way later in life. And of course, it's all about money too. I was a kid back then. I couldn't afford that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they would have been a bit pricey.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have been, but I didn't know anybody that had them, and I didn't know anybody that was in the community. And we didn't have a community.
When did the Panthers start getting popular then? So I'm imagining like what you were getting was like from Africa, and they hadn't gone to Madagascar yet.
Everything was coming from Madagascar. Yeah, we were getting a lot of stuff from Africa too. I had Johnstons, and another unicorn chameleon was the quadricorneus.
And you finally got those.
And I finally got those.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, so it's a lot of childhood dreams have come true in the last couple of years.
Is there still a species that you would like that you've not had yet?
Yeah, it's coming in about 2 or 3 weeks, called the bifidus.
Oh, you're getting it.
Yeah.
Is there any other that you would like that's on your wish list or dream list?
No. I think I've fulfilled my dreams.
All the unicorns. Wait, what were they that you're getting again? In 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah. They're coming in a shipment from Madagascar.
What was it again? I'm going to look it up. I want to see if I can.
Bifidus.
A bifidus. Bifidus chameleon. Oh. This?
Yep, that's it.
Those are so cool.
They are very unique.
Oh, those are so cool. He's holding it on the thumbnail. Oh, that's me. Oh, I was like, what's that? Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So here's another one. Are they pretty rare then?
Not necessarily. It was the only animal when we went to Madagascar, it was the only animal I found on my own.
Oh. Whoa.
And once I was holding one in my hand, I just went, wow. I got it.
How big are those?
They're about the same size as a panther, maybe just a little bit bigger.
Okay. So they're not one of the really small species. I like the bigger ones. I mean, I like my helmeted a lot. He's super cool, but I like the bigger ones. I really love I am loving the Parsons I have. They're so awesome.
Yeah.
You were right. You weren't kidding when you said when you get the Parsons, there's just something different. And there really is. Yeah,
my heart is with the Parsons, no doubt.
Their eyes are so sweet. Like Lemonade, when she looks at me, I'm like, oh my goodness. Like she just is like, she looks happy. They look like they're smiling. They don't look like they're judging you. And like my Panthers, they look like they're just like, oh, her again. Half the time they do. He's like, oh, she's got food at least. Well, most of the time. But Lemonade, she's got such a sweet face. And my son, my oldest, he's 6 still. He hand feeds Banana Man, the male. They're not, and they're like, oh, here comes the little food trees. And, it's so sweet because they recognized right away, like, oh, food. And like, they weren't really, I mean, like, I don't really handle them too much. I respect their space. But they just come right up and they know that food time's here. And he held up a feeder and they just went for it. And it was so sweet to watch that. And he loves that. So now he loves taking care of them. So he likes the Parsons more than the Panthers. Like he wants to go and miss them all the time. And it's so sweet. A flappy flap. Is that the Mellors or?
That would be a brevicorn.
I was thinking the ones, because I know the Mellors, don't they have like the flap? Or no? Am I thinking of
Mellors have them too.
Okay. That's what I was like. Those I love those too. I think that'd be one I'd want to get. It would be a Mellors. I think they're really pretty. Not to get into breeding. I just like the way they look.
I've had a few Mellors.
So what is it that you love most about the Parsons compared to other species?
Lifespan.
Yes. Yes, you're not kidding.
That's the biggest thing. You know, they're saying anywhere from 15 to 20 years. Nobody's really got a hard number on that. But I know some people that have had them for 8, 10 years. So, and I'm going on, my oldest one that I have is about 5.5 years old that I've had her. I got her as a captive bred, and she's 5.5 years old, and I got her about 9 months, I think.
9 months.
And she's literally one of my favorites. She's the queen. She's got that giant cage back there in the back.
The giant, the one in the middle.
Yeah, she's in a
What
5
type of
by.
Parsons is she?
She's a female orange eye.
Oh yeah.
You want to see her?
Yes, I would love to see your orange eye.
Of course, my lights went off because this is late for them.
Oh yeah. They're addicted to you too.
Let's see how cooperative she is.
Do her little claws hurt? Because I know Lemonade, her claws hurt worse than Banana Man.
Yeah, she's ridiculously small.
Yeah, yeah. Like, show it off. Oh, look at that little green princess there. Oh, she's beautiful. She's big.
She's 523 grams. She's probably one of the biggest females I've seen.
Do the orange eyes get bigger than the yellow giants?
I would say they're relatively the same. I think yellow giants might get a little bit bigger, but I've also noticed that the females seem to be a little bit smaller. Now,
the yellow giant females?
Because I don't really know for sure if that's true or not. It's just what I've seen.
Yo, you make Mr. Mondays here. She makes him look like a little itty bitty thing.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
She's pretty massive.
Tall. I've noticed like the way that their abdomen is like taller too.
Yeah. She is
beautiful.
She is my pride and joy.
Oh yeah. She's huge. I mean, my female yellow giant is bigger than my largest male panther. And Mr. Mondays is not one of the larger ones.
She is she's pretty amazing.
She looks amazing.
And then I just got a
show something else, Foggy. That wasn't me, that was Shobi. Foggy.
Here's another one I just got. And I don't know how she's gonna react because I've only held her a couple of times.
Dude, Mr. Mondays.
So this is a 9-month-old female.
Oh,
9-month-old female yellow lip.
A yellow lip. Do you have a favorite type of Parsons?
Well,
you go, well.
You know, I was doing I was really into yellow giants until I don't know. I'm gonna have to say all Parsons are my favorite.
They're beautiful.
She's got some crazy turquoise.
I think the females are really beautiful. Like they're almost prettier than the males.
You know, I have both of those. I have that same mentality. I have a special place for the females, but when you see a male with incredible rostal horns,
ooh,
like this guy,
let's see him. I'm excited to see this guy. See if you can show a quad. You may literally never see one again. Oh, we also want to talk about the quads too, to get more on what Bill's saying.
So this guy is, he's a captive bred, but look at the horns on this guy.
Oh my gosh, look at him. Wow. So how old is he to have horns that size?
Okay, so he's only about 3 years old. He's just started a breeding age. And he's a captive bred. They said orange eye, could be a yellow giant. We're not positive.
Who's he from?
This would be from a breeder in Florida. There was a bunch of them that went out, and
beautiful.
There's just nobody's really put their finger on it. They're sold them as yellow giants, but some of the babies look like orange eyes.
Ah. So, the mob is demanding a quad.
Okay, let's see if I can get one. Now, it's going to be hard to hold them because they do this flailing thing. I forget what they called it, but the minute you start holding one, they want to just jump out of your hand. So I'm going to give it a shot. But if you get
is it different than like how panthers, like the females, will like yeet themselves out of your hand? I've noticed
they have a fight or flee type mentality, and flee is usually number one on their list. So let's see what we can do.
Okay, we're gonna see a quad. So when he comes back, I want to ask him what Bill meant, that we may never see one again. You got this. Show me. Reptile show saying. They say you got this, James. Oh, look at that. Are there 4 horns up front?
Yeah, there's 4 horns.
Oh, like, then this is a male?
This is a male. I wasn't able to get the female.
He's not shedding. Those are his markings, right? Or is he shedding?
Look at the fin on the tail.
He's got a fin. He looks like a little dinosaur. 100%. Look at that.
This is a pretty amazing species, and one of the ones that I could only dream about getting. I have the only 2 that I know of in the U.S.
So can you go more into that when you come back about what you mean by one of the only 2 and what Bill means about we may never see one again?
Well, CITES has put a stop to chameleons being imported into the U.S., and they haven't been imported here, and Bill would have to correct me on the amount of time, but I know it's been quite a few years. And so they're no longer available. Luckily, there was a couple of people that had some maybe 5 or 6 years ago. They were successful in breeding them. And this is one of the last, these are the last ones that are in the community.
Oh, wow.
So I got the honor, the young lady that
about 10 years, Bill says.
gave them to me was she was getting ready to have a baby and decided they needed to go to a new home, and she gave me the honor of owning them. So I'm very proud of these animals. Very proud.
And I remember we had a conversation several months ago. Aren't they related? So you can't, or are they the same?
Well, I've only got 2 males, and the female is related to 1 set of them. Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to breed, but I would have had a breeding pair, but she unfortunately passed away before, they got shipped. So,
oh gosh,
and again, we're looking at the same kind of lifespan, about 5 to 7 years, and they're going on 6 now.
Oh, so, wow. So she was taking good care of them.
Yeah, very good care.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I feel pretty honored to have them in my house.
So where are they from again?
They are from Cameroon.
Cameroon, and we can't get anything from there anymore, right?
No, nothing.
They could not have gone to a better home.
That's true. I spoil the crap out of my animals.
Well, no, I mean, there's a huge we say it's spoiling, but there's a huge difference when you get the quality of the feeders that you get. I know you and Dean. What were you and Dean just doing? I saw some posts, but it's just been so.
Dean, Bill, and Matthew went on a katydid hunt. So we all drove down to San Diego and met up with Dean and went out in the dark in the mountains near his home and found some katydids for Dean to breed. It was more of an excuse for 4 chameleon guys to get together,
Oh, thank God. I'm so sorry. My laptop almost started to die. I was like, So we're good. I had to plug it in.
Bill knows more than me when it comes to that, bringing them in.
Hold on. I don't know why my laptop's doing this.
They're outside, Mikey.
It is plugged in. There we go. Nope, it's not. What the heck? I am so sorry. There we go. All right. Nope, it should be on. I got plugged in. There we go. It's plugged in though.
What's she doing down there?
Why does it keep me? My computer keeps going off saying that it's dying, but it's plugged in. And I was like, no, don't do that. So I fixed it. I apologize. I was looking like I was dancing there.
Bill told me to dance. I must do what the master says.
Oh. He's like, oh, sorry, dancing to distract from the fact that her laptop was deciding to go out. Oh, that was bad. But wait, I fixed that. I was getting freaked out there because I didn't know what was happening. So, as someone, because I know a lot of people in our community, like we have the honor of like being able to interact with Bill. And I feel like he's obviously very helpful. He's been teaching us so much, and we have a resource that we did not have for, I guess, ever until very recently, as far as studying chameleons that everybody has access to. So as someone who isn't a scientist, but works hands-on with animals and environments daily, what have you learned that no textbook could have taught you?
I'm not a technical guy. I'm a go by the seat of your pants kind of guy. I came into this community. I wasn't even into social media when I was doing chameleons. And I found the Chameleon Academy on the internet. And then I found some of the lives that Bill was doing. And so I started participating a little bit. And then the thing that brought Bill and I together was, I'm creative. And so I decided one day that I needed a fogger that would fit under my 2x2 by 4 enclosure. So, and I hated changing the water bucket. So I came up with the bucket fogger, and Bill just happened to see it on Instagram. And that's kind of where it started. People weren't really fogging. There was a lot of pushback against people who were fogging. And I'd like to think that I was part of the reason that started changing. Bill and I both were fogging at the time, and then I was fogging Parsons, so that kind of set the stage for our interaction. And after that, the community just kind of kept pushing me, and the next thing you know, a few of my favorite people started calling me the Fog Father.
That's where it came from.
That's kind of where it came from. So, I think I'm not saying I did, because I know people were fogging, but I feel like I pushed it into the mainstream. And I made people, stop saying that it was bad for the chameleons. And there was a lot of pushback. But now it seems to be everywhere. So I'd like to think that I was part of the beginning of that.
What do you think people misunderstand most about fogging for chameleons?
Well, I have to say my favorite thing that people say that annoys the crap out of me is that fogging causes respiratory infection. And it's just not true. It's the environment that your chameleon's in. Fogging is probably one of the best ways to hydrate your animal, is in my opinion.
No, when I first got into chameleons, the breeder I bought from was very much so against the fogging, and he was like, "Oh no, they're gonna pass away. They're gonna pass away." And I was like, I knew at that point that I wanted to just get information from one person, because I knew it could get really confusing and overwhelming for somebody if they're getting multiple sources of information. But I started studying, and I was like, I don't know why would it be bad? I don't get, why is it going to be, why is it going to hurt my chameleon? Like, why are they going to die if they start to fog? And that's when I started to branch out and to get other sources of information. And I was like, so the ones that I have been able to fog with, I mean, I noticed a huge difference. Like, it's a huge difference. I do, but down here I have not been able to. I have 66 cages, and I have a huge house of hydro. I just honestly need help setting it up, because I can't seem, the fan is difficult. I feel like I need fans in the middle of some more fans in there. I don't know how to, I can get some of them, but it's hard with as many as I have.
Yeah.
And especially the layering, because I have babies that are stacked up, and that becomes a little difficult too.
Yeah, I'd have to see your room, but I could give you some ideas. There's a lot of tricks to it. They have oscillating fans that you can hang on a wall.
Oh.
And that's an easy way of doing something like that. You can literally mount them on the side of your cage rack. You can mount them on a pole that's in the middle of the room. You can mount them up above all of your cages and have them just with a little bit of downdraft. But air circulation is key. I mean, that's the answer to getting rid of your respiratory infections.
You're the reason I got computer fans.
They usually just come from heat and high humidity and no air circulation. Yeah.
That's definitely like in the basement I'm in, like I had to basically put so many fans down here. They didn't, this is part of an extension to a very old house. So I have like 5 fans, just fans. And then I also have computer fans, like what you recommended, on top of all the cages. They're awesome. You adjust speed. They're waterproof, and I'm sucking all the air out. Like I'm getting like, and it helps any standing water. It helps get rid of that.
Yep.
And that's been amazing.
Yeah.
Getting that was a huge game changer for me. And that's like, now everybody talks about those awesome things because a lot of people, it's been like 5 years, they still didn't want to do fogging. Like, it's like, oh God, no. But it only makes sense. Like, I mean, I forgot, did Bill share the video? I think it was Bill, where it was like literally just like the fog's rolling in at night, and it's like it looks like smoke. It's thick.
Yeah, that was up in the mountains of Madagascar.
Yes, and it's like thick. It's some of the thickest fog like you've seen. I mean, we can drive.
It came in real fast, real wet, and real cool, and
it cooled it down.
Just goes to show you, once you go to Madagascar,
I want to go.
It's an eye opener. It's a game changer. It changes your whole perspective.
So, a lot of people ask me on my lives, like, what is the coldest temperatures that panthers can handle? And I forget which breeder of Parsons. They're in Southern California, but where he lives, is it Rick? Rick Rose?
Rick lives in Ventura, and Craig lives in San Diego or Huntington Beach.
Who keeps their chameleons outside year round? It's one of them.
Would be that. Both of them do.
They both
keep
do.
Their Parsons out, yeah.
Because they're saying how sometimes where they're at, it does get into the 30s.
Yes.
But they're thriving.
I think, and there's Matthew also in Santa Barbara area, and those Craig's, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, don't quote me on it, but he has gotten down into the above freezing, but pretty darn cold. I know that Matthew does the opposite. He will he heats. He'll bring out heaters and such, and I'm not sure how Rick does it.
I know it's one of those two because I'm friends with both of them on Facebook, and they were just talking about it. And I'm friends with Rick and Craig, and so. But I thought that was really interesting because when you think of like a tropical island, you don't think about 40s and 30s being a possibility for them to be exposed to. I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's hot. And they want to repeat, but they don't really, I'm finding they don't need, at least panthers in Parsons, they don't need that extreme warm. We are going to go to, yay! I like that idea. I love that idea. I have a huge house of hydro system just waiting. I think it's a 12-discer. It is.
Ooh, the big one.
He's like, do something with me. Whoa.
I left that cage open. We don't want that guy cruising around.
No.
Yeah, I've been looking at the big one too. I'm actually we're in the 90s right now outside, and my humidity's down to 12%.
Oh, it's so different for you. It's humid as all get out here. Like when it's like
we have zero humidity. So I've let my Parsons be outside up into the 90s. My cages are heavily planted. So, and I have a misting system that literally sprays from like 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock on one half of the cage.
Wow.
They seem to handle it pretty well. They'll go down underneath all of those bushes and hang out in the water. And I've taken some readings down in there, and it's about 70 degrees with about 50 to 60% humidity inside of the bushes right there. So.
But they are outside.
They're outside.
And you just have is it a misting or you have what type of system is it?
Let's take a walk outside and see.
Oh yeah, you're using your phone. I wish I'm using a webcam.
No, I'm using my iPad.
Oh.
Big technology here for an old schooler. This is about as far as it goes when it comes to technology. So these are some of my
Look at that.
outdoor cages. Let's see if I can flip me around. How do you do that? I guess I can't.
There might be like a little like button down on the. I don't know because I don't know how to work iPhones or iPads.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, there's one of my outdoor habitats. And I have.
What is that plant?
Which one? This?
The one that, right? Yeah. Oh, the big. Or is it multiple?
There's ivy in here. This is a Japanese maple, and then I have wisteria growing vining all around.
Wasn't ivy a plant that was kind of a controversial-ish topic because
someone came along and said that ivy causes your chameleon to bleed out its pores, and
what?
Yeah, it's not true. I've heard a lot of this is one of my giant cages.
I do too. I love these enclosures. What? Oh my gosh, they're beautiful.
This one has everything from oranges in it to
oranges.
Yeah, I'm growing oranges outside.
Stop.
There's an orange tree in there, and a tangerine tree, and a blueberry plant.
And a blueberry. Wow, you're like, okay, now talk about killing two birds with one stone. You're like, I got my chameleons out here. I'm growing some food for myself. or you're using them to gut load. I'm having
a blast with it. It's
yeah.
This is when you finally get to an age where you have all the crap you want, and you get to focus on a hobby that you enjoy so much that I'm having the time of my life. And, my favorite part about all of this is helping the community. It's amazing how you can get a group of people together who are on the same page. There's a lot of tug and pull out there in the reptile world.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of good people and there's a lot of crappy people. And sadly, the crappy people have a tendency to overshadow the good people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can remove yourself from that and join a group of people that actually truly cares about each other, and helping push the husbandry forward, it's an amazing place to be. And I'm so thankful that I came across the group of people from the Chameleon Academy group. They are nothing but a bunch of loving, caring people, and there's no misconception. We all try to help each other, and it's changed my world. Being in construction, everybody hates each other. And it's always an angry and hostile environment. And when I come home to do my hobby, I'm in my happy place. And these people are just so amazing. It's such a joy to do what we're doing right now.
It is. I mean, I was always, when I got into chameleons, I just had, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I kind of was like, just kind of stay back and watch, or like not watch, or like read, because I was like, oh. But now it's been even more enjoyable, like being able to join a community or be a part of a community and talk with other people about what your passion is. And I also love like being able to talk with people who I've never even like seen a panther chameleon. Like I so many times people are talking about how I've never seen one this color before. I didn't know chameleons could be this colorful, and they're like Mr. Mondays. And I was like, you should see some of my other ones. And just being able to see like that look on somebody's face the first time they've seen like one of these guys, and it's so awesome. And I haven't been able to do that with the Parsons. People don't just like come over to my house, and I'm not going to take them anywhere, but they're truly captivating. I can't get over like when I go and see the Parsons every day, and I'm taking care of them. It's just a way. You could tell their level of intelligence is even greater than any of the panthers. They're very smart. And I noticed that, how a lot of panthers will freak out at the back of the camera lens on your phone. Like when you're taking pictures, they don't like it. They don't recognize themselves though. Like if you're like front facing camera, I haven't had one that does. The Parsons do. I was trying to be sneaky and like, I'm going to get like a video of me hand feeding. And he goes, what's that? He goes, he's just staring at that the entire time. Like, what are you doing? I was like, dang it, you're too smart. So I love it.
Yeah.
What would you say to anybody who was interested in getting a Parsons? What do you wish more people knew before they like jump into owning one?
Well, I think it's being a Parsons owner is a special thing. I really think that people should be more experienced, not because of their ability to take care of chameleons, but because they're such an amazing animal that I don't think everybody should just have one.
Right.
There's plenty of beginner chameleons to start with, and that trial and error. And I hate to say it this way, but there are a few chameleons that are a little bit on the disposable side, and I think that's where everybody should start to practice getting their chameleon keeping down. Chameleon keeping is not that hard. You just have to understand the concept, and once you understand the concept, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
The problem is so many people try to treat reptile owning like owning a dog.
No.
And it's not something you can chain to a pole and give it a bowl of food and it's going to live forever. You have to really pay attention to the aesthetics and the environment. And once you figure it out, though, it's pretty darn easy. So start off with something that's a fairly easy, very robust animal and see if it's something that you really love. And if it is, then you can graduate up to harder species. And they're not really harder. It's just
they like a lot of water.
Just more expensive, you know?
Yeah, the feeders, and they gulp the water. I mean, these suckers, they love water.
Yeah.
They love it. You are not kidding. Like, and I mean, can we miss them too much? Can we give them too much water? I don't think so. No. Like I have a misting system going, a fogging. I do the fogging at night, but like, they see me when I come by, and I'm like, if I pick up the hand, my mister, they come to the front of the cage. They recognize what it is. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, you guys want some water? And they just sit there and they're just like, oh yeah, it's like just relaxing. Like they're just, it's so awesome. Like it really is. I'm geeking out over the Parsons. They're not down here, they're upstairs right now. Like, because that's 4 cages, 4 Reptile breezes. I will say, I wish I just gotten Bill's cages, because that was probably one of the most frustrating times of my life, was setting up those cages.
Yeah, cage size is definitely super important. And
yes.
The
Parsons is 2 of the, like, if you're going that route, it's 2 of these connected, and these are 2 extra large Reptile breezes, and so that's just for 1. Yeah. For 1. Yeah. No, I was like, I was sitting there like, I'm doing all this man stuff, like I bought so many like tools. Yeah. I mean, I was like, I learned why I needed safety goggles when I was drilling into aluminum. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Anyways, I'm just back, and I was like, oh, metal shards, like, oh shoot. So yeah,
you can get one of the dragon strands. That cage is just awesome. And then we've also started making some really cool drainage trays for that too. So
have you started using them?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
How's that going? Because that's very.
So the drainage trays are really working out awesome. We had a hard time with it because I didn't want to put out something that was crappy, right? Like Zoom Ed does, something that makes it super affordable for people. But I also didn't want to put something out that was so expensive that it was out of everyone's reach. So I kind of had to go in the middle. The material we're using and the products that we're using in this are quite pricey. It's costing me, quite a bit of money just to build them. We're really not making a lot of money off of them. It's more about a passion for the animals. So what we're doing is barely above what it costs us to make them. And they are turning out to be really a great product. You can use these drainage trays with both the Reptibreeze and the Dragon Strand. We made it so that they were compatible.
That's
And
awesome.
it takes all of your draining issues out of it, and then you can make them bioactive, which is something that nobody can really do in the community right now. There's nothing else out there that's anything like this.
To make them bioactive or not bioactive. I know I want to get into bioactive chameleons. All my other reptiles are bioactive and bioactive enclosures, but I like look at the Reptibreeze and I'm like, man, I feel like I'll put like a lot of work into making it bioactive just for like.
Well, keep your eyes peeled. Bill's going to be doing a video on setting up one of these trays and making it bioactive. And if he hurries up and does that, I'm going to use his video to do mine.
The bioactive stands are solid. I love them. That's what Bill just said. No, I've been putting water troughs underneath, like horse troughs, like, well, horse would drink out of, like not a full blown size one, but like smaller ones. They are in the same section at the farm store to catch water underneath the parsons. And because that's a lot of water.
Yeah, this takes all the headaches out of it. You just stick a 5-gallon bucket underneath the thing, and now you've got, you just have to empty your 5-gallon bucket. No more mess, you know?
That's awesome. There is, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, that would be, because I'm like using like a shop vac. I'm like sucking all the water out. I'm carrying that disgusting shop.
Yeah, no more of that. That's another reason why we came up with this, you know. I've been having a blast collaborating and doing ideas with Bill. He brings a lot to the community, and he's just a pretty dang awesome guy.
He really is very awesome. And it's just, I wish I got in the Dragon Strand, because I'm like, then the price kind of I was like, man, they're expensive, but I understand why, because like literally every function that you need to keep a chameleon, he thought about that when designing them. Mm-hmm. But did you help? You helped too, or
no? Not the Dragon Strand. That's all Bill. We're coming out with some other stuff, but I'm not going to give it up yet because I want to make sure nice and awesome before we release anything. But it's kind of like the bar. Yeah, it's like the bio stand. That was about 4.5 months in the making, and we tried a lot of different things, tried to cheapen it up, tried to make it, but what we came up with is we figured, it might be a little bit pricey, but we know that everyone's going to be happy with it.
I mean, you get your Reptibreeze. I feel like taking good care of a Reptibreeze, because you basically break it almost to set up, like with the sticks that like you see behind me. You're essentially like tearing it apart anytime you do that. And so what I actually, this case right here, I have gotten 5 years out of it, but yeah, if you look at certain parts, there's definitely some things that I've had to tweak around to like keep it together.
Yeah,
you can see that from the camera. But those cages, like you would never, like they're solid. They are gonna last a very long time.
Yeah, you're definitely, when you step into this ballpark that we're putting out, we're really thinking of the customer and making sure that you have something that's just not mass produced. I mean, everything I'm making right now is all handmade. I'm doing it in my shop. So we're making it all from scratch. Every one of them, every part of it touches my hands. And the ideas and concepts that come out of that garage are collaboration.
Exactly.
And we're gearing everything we're doing, which you're not going to find out there, towards chameleons. This is not a reptile guy turning a cage on its side. These are strictly designed for chameleons. And that's what our, and here's a little peeky right there on the end.
On the end? I see some. Ooh.
Yeah, so that little guy right there is something that we're playing around with right now, and it's in the testing stages. And it's strictly a chameleon cage.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I saw right there. I was like, yeah. Ooh, ah.
Yeah. There's more of it. There's a bunch of stuff in the garage, but I'm not going to let it out of the bag yet because, again, I don't want to get your hopes up and when we decide it doesn't work. Huh?
Don't say that. People all want to know.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite cage? Or like, what is the cage you're like most proud of building?
Well,
I see keep saying cage. I don't know why.
There's two. That's one of them. This guy's one of them. This is the newest guy we're doing here, and we're putting doors and stuff on the side of them to trap humidity. And then this one right here. What I love about this cage is it's all handmade. It's all made out of wood.
Beautiful.
And this, I literally spent about 4 months building this.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. I see angel wing begonias.
Yes.
Some ferns.
And then we put in, let's see, I'm trying to watch the camera. We got a drawer in it for stuff. Oh my
gosh.
And I have pull-out power trays.
Oh my gosh.
So your trays can just slide back in if you have to adjust anything. And then over here we have your Fog Father fogger and your drainage bucket and your misting system.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's awesome. I know the beautiful jungle in there. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is another one of those things Bill talked me into. Like, you see that guy right there? Can you see him? He's right there.
The big bright yellow green thing? I'm joking. Is that a leaf or is that a chameleon? Where is he?
You see him? He's right
see him
there.
Now. Oh my gosh. Hey, no, he actually is blending in.
So that is a O'Shaughnessy. And that's one of my pet projects that my good buddy Bill is working on with me. So we're gonna, I'm not a breeder, and I'm just a keeper. And let me tell you how influential the Chameleon Academy is on me. Now all of a sudden, I guess I'm going to start trying to breed. So I know, right? Again, it just goes back to how much. Look at this chat.
Yeah.
Look at this chat. Look at all of these people in here that came here to support me. You can't do this. You can't do this anywhere else in the reptile world. So I'm very happy, and I can't wait to retire doing this.
Yeah, no, I'm on your wait list, right?
Yeah.
I want to get.
Let's make a dent in the world and give the people something that they can be proud of, and that's where I'm at.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome! It's very inspirational to hear you talking about this because, yeah, it is. It's like it's very unique too. Like you don't see this anywhere.
Yeah, it's these animals are more amazing than butterflies. Okay, that's what it reminds me of. Reptiles, the butterfly of reptiles. Once you get into them, you can't get out of it. It's definitely something awesome.
It is you can't just have one.
Yeah.
You can't just get out of it. Like I can't imagine not having chameleons.
What's crazy is you're sitting on the couch on a Tuesday afternoon and 4 guys get together on a chat, and the next thing you know, you're traipsing through the jungle looking for chameleons, or you're down in San Diego in the middle of the night trying to find katydids. Who does that?
Nope. Did any police like, hey, what you doing?
That's what makes it awesome. It's a sense of community, and it's really killer.
Oh, you're right. And it's like here, I'm in Missouri, and I feel like I'm bothering you. I try not to bother Bill too much.
Yeah, you know what? That's not it at all. And I know a lot of people feel that way, but I have no problem helping people. My phone's always open, and if I got a moment to talk to you, I'm going to do it.
That's good. Anytime I've asked, I'm like, hey, can I call you real quick? Like, you're like, yeah, give me a few or whatever. And it's.
Yeah, literally anytime you call me, it's within a couple of minutes, right?
It is. It really is. Like anytime I've had questions about Because now I'm thinking like, because I had Laban for lemonade, and now I'm like, you know, I kind of just want to make her. I think I want to make it like a just bioactive sort of Laban.
Yep. So that's what I'm going to end up doing with all 3 of those cages in the back.
Oh,
those
really?
are all going to be my female cages, and they're going to all end up being bioactive.
Yeah, because I'm
and
like,
then that way I don't have to do a lay-bin.
Yeah.
You know, it's all incorporated into one whole cage, and I'll just keep the females in there.
Yeah, I will be reaching out to you because I'm just going to make the bottom of hers, I think, a bioactive just for that. Because I got.
Let me know.
It's happening because, you know.
Yeah, we're starting to get a lot of people that are starting to order these things. So
really,
I'm trying to stay ahead of it, but you know how it works.
It is very. No, I did. So they paired up actually, Banana Man Lemonade. So I was like, no way.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to be kidding.
Yeah, well,
like,
you watch what happens. You'll have your breeder Panthers, and all of a sudden your Parsons collection will just start growing.
I can't see why. They're just amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah, that's kind of where I got
Panthers. I'm always going to have Panthers, though. Like, I can't, like, I got.
Same here. I got a Panther back there.
I got 3 locales now. Yeah. I got, you know, Ambalobi, Abanja, and now I got Nosy Bay. And I'm like,
yeah.
So yeah. I love them all. I love them all.
Yeah. So I like to get the things that nobody has and that are
you're
really
cool like that. You literally have like the last, like they're the last, you got 2 or 3 of the quads.
Yeah.
But Parsons and
I have 2.
You have 2 of the quads, and they're like the last in the country.
Yes.
Yeah, you are like, you have the stuff that nobody else has. You're the cool kid. And I was like
I don't try to be though. You know what I mean? I got very lucky. You know, it's again, it comes down to this community. You know, what I mean? This community is very caring and very sharing.
It really is. Like that's like people are like, why would you want to help somebody who didn't buy a chameleon from you? And it's like, well, because I want their chameleon to still thrive. Like I want like people to like be able to keep their chameleons and have them thrive. And that's, I haven't met somebody who's like, oh, I'm not going to help them because I've not met somebody like that yet, to be honest.
Right.
I know, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, no, I have not. Like, the community has been very just like, oh, okay, and helpful, very helpful, genuinely helpful.
Yeah, that's our goal. You know.
Yeah.
You know, come to the lives. You'll see. It's nothing but a community of people that are trying to help each other. There's no people
exactly
for an ego or for, you know, I'm the king of the hill. It's more about sharing.
It is.
And, if we can keep that going, I think this thing will outlive all of the nonsense.
I agree. I definitely agree. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on. I do believe
it's been awesome being here.
It has been. I'll have to do another live. I would like to see like your fogging, maybe not another live, but another stream.
Sure.
I can't say words tonight.
I'll show you how to build a fogger. You know, we can do all of totally.
Yes. Okay. That sounds awesome. Like we have to do that.
We'll get a parts list together and we'll show you how to do it.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun because I wasn't going to stay where I'm at. I guess I'm going to be here for another year or so now. So I'm like, so I'm going to just get the phone. I didn't want to set it up. That was my other thing I didn't set up. I didn't want to set it up just to move.
Yeah.
Like I was no.
The way I make all of my stuff is I really, really try to make it so that you can move it. And I have a fogger in every cage instead of having one for 5 cages because I don't want to be. I can literally roll my cage across the floor if I need to clean behind it or, you know, so that was my thought process in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a very good. We need it. You need it. You should maybe get into something that work for breeders too.
We'll see what happens. I'm having fun, but I don't want to work too hard. Gosh, it was great being here. Thank you guys all for showing up.
Thank you, everybody.
I really appreciate the community that came here to get behind us. And thank you, Brittany, for giving me this opportunity.
Of course.
Great show.
It's a pleasure.
I'm really glad to see you doing so well. And I can't wait to do some more of this in the future. Hit me up anytime, girl.
All right. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming on.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.